A massive hibernating dragon is uncovered and leaps to life during underground construction in London around the year 2008, instantaneously incinerating all construction workers with its hot breath. Quinn Abercrombie, played by Ben Thornton, a 12-year-old survivor whose mother, Alice Krieg, was the construction crew's chief, is the only survivor. Quinn and his mother are stuck in a shaft lift when the dragon escapes and his mother is crushed. Thousands of them quickly spread across Europe and then the rest of the world, burning everything, feeding on the ash, and multiplying at an exponential rate. The world powers use their most potent weapons, but this just hastens the planet's doom. In 2020, Quinn, played by Christian Bale, leads a colony of survivors in a medieval stone castle in Northumberland, a lonely bulwark of humanity fearful of the sky and dragons that could attack at any time. Their hope is to outlive the dragons, wait for them to die out again. Unfortunately, the villagers are starting to hunger as the harvests ripen. Quinn is having difficulty keeping members of his colony from harvesting crops before they have ripened. Creedy and Quinn perform a play-acted rendition of Star Wars for the colony's children at night. They also have the children recite a prayer telling them to keep an eye out for dragons and to dig tunnels in order to live. A tiny group sneaks out early one morning to collect tomatoes. They attract the notice of an attacking dragon who burns a couple of them and fires the rest of the crop. Quinn and his friend Creedy use firefighting water cannons and flameproof suits to rescue the survivors in armoured vehicles. Eventually, after some horrific and fiery loss of life, the dragon retires, and Creedy and his people return in their water-strewn vehicles to the safety of their stone retreat. One day, an armoured column led by Denton Van Zandt, played by Matthew McConaughey, and with a Chieftain tank and an Augusta A-109 helicopter piloted by Alex, played by Isabella Scorupco, arrives.
Americans. Who's in charge? Well, that'll be you then.
Quinn first refuses the American team's request to enter the castle grounds. Van Zandt shows Quinn a dragon's tooth he wears around his neck, claiming it is from the first dragon he killed in the American Midwest. Dragons have amazing vision both day and night, but during magic hour, their vision is hampered and what they see is blurry.
You see, they have great vision in the day. They have even better vision at night. But in the failing light, they can't focus. Magic hour.
The two commanders, Quinn and Van Zandt, mistrust each other, yet need each other, and eventually manage to defeat the dragon who ruined the crop. Van Zandt's squad use a sophisticated triangulation technique that employs small remote tracking devices to pull dragons within the range of Van Zandt's arsenal of weapons. Two of the three skydivers are slain by the dragon, one lands safely, and the mission is a success. Van Zandt kills the dragon when Quinn, riding on horseback, lures it close enough to a massive harpoon gun. The castle's residents, having never seen a dragon slayed, celebrate the triumph that night, only to be admonished by Van Zandt, who is horrified by their antics after losing 3 of his crew in the battle.
One dragon down, 3 men dead, oh yeah. At that rate, we might just be getting somewhere in about 320 years.
Following that, Van Zandt and Alex inform Quinn that all of the dragons his team has encountered so far are female. Their notion is that they are like fish. Females lay their eggs all over the world, then the male comes along and fertilizes them. They're left with the belief that there is only one male in the entire dragon population. The next morning, Van Zandt demands that colony members assist him in his hunt for the guy in London. All are hesitant, but Van Zandt declares that he will select volunteers. Quinn objects, and the two struggle, with Van Zandt taking the upper hand. Van Zandt, enraged, leaves nonetheless. Van Zandt and his team come across a roadblock on their journey to London. Van Zandt then orders Alex to locate an alternative route. The male dragon quickly arrives and destroys practically the entire army, breathing fire on Van Zandt's armoured column and incinerating everyone but him. The dragon chases them back to the castle, where he destroys it. The residents are saved by hiding in an underground bunker intended to withstand the heat. Just as the male's fire fills the castle, Creedy bravely slams the door to the underground bunker shut and leads the youngsters in a prayer to observe the skies as they are afraid. But Quinn's dear friend, Creedy, is killed while attempting to save more people in the castle. Van Zandt, defeated, returns to the castle, rescues Quinn and the remaining children from the castle cellar. Quinn informs Van Zandt that he will accompany them to London to hunt the male dragon. They use the helicopter to fly undetected along the coast to the city, where they learn that the dragons are starving and turning to cannibalism. As they gaze over the rubble of London's skyline, the male comes and eats one of the hundreds of females roosting in the city's towers. Denton's strategy is to fire an explosive charge from a crossbow into the dragon's mouth during the brief moment it inhales, drawing air into the dragon's mouth and causing it to burn. Van Zandt will be the bait, perched atop a tall smokestack. His single crossbow shot missed the dragon's mouth. The dragon rushes Van Zandt's position. Van Zandt leaps from his perch, fighting the dragon with only his axe, and is swallowed in midair. Quinn and Alex are successful in luring the dragon to street level. The dragon pursues them, but it is magic hour and the dragon's vision is blurred. Quinn recovers the dropped crossbow bolts and fires one into the dragon's jaws, where it bursts and kills the beast. Quinn and Alex are shown creating a radio tower 3 months after the male dragon is killed, and they receive a communication from another group of survivors in France. The dragons are rapidly vanishing. Quinn delegated the task of responding the French survivors to Jared, claiming that he does not speak the language well. I loved Reign of Fire, a somewhat missed film, in my opinion, but groundbreaking nonetheless. The two lead males in conflict with each other, one vying for the survival of humanity, the other for his people. Let me know in the comments below. I'm Chloe, and I really do hope you liked this episode of What's the Story. Please like and subscribe for more, and have the best day ever.